It was a late Monday evening. I'd been working on a case, a real hard wire of a case. I was coming up short. Loose ends were starting to sprout all around me. A dame had come into my office the previous night. She had money. Her case seemed simple enough at the time. What is the worst movies of all time? See, she was a real firecracker of a dame, so I took it on for less money than I normally would. Things got rattly. Things got sparky. But I was still coming up short. My newest lead, Skyline. Okay, so Skyline might be the worst movie ever made. Just hear me out on this. I've been very adamant on my opinion that The Never-Ending Story 2 is the worst movie ever made. Many said that that's too easy of a target to give it that title. That's like saying White Chicks is the worst movie ever made. It doesn't work. Why? Simply because it's hardly considered to be an actual movie. It's just visual vomit is what they say. The second thing I got shit for was that it's a sequel. So fucking what? Sequels can't be the worst movies of all time. Look at Caddyshack. Not only is it a horrible insult to the original, but it's one of the biggest pieces of festering, pterodactyl shit to ever grace the big screen. That can't be the worst movie ever made? Fine. So Skyline is directed by, or whatever you want to call it, the Brothers McMullen. Sorry, that's wrong. The Brothers Grimm. Wait, I mean the Brothers Strauss or something. I guess it takes two to create such a rancid piece of chewed up and spit out carcass of a movie. This thing is not even a popcorn movie. In fact, I don't really know what the hell it is. Is it a movie? You got some guy waking up in a hotel or something, and he looks into the mini blinds and starts groaning, looking at weeds on his face, which is never explained, by the way. Enhance. Then he's on a plane a few hours earlier because the brothers douche want to show us that they know what non-linear structure looks like. Though usually this is a motivated technique that the editor finds to be useful in aiding in the storytelling. In this, it's just pointless, stupid, non-motivated, like everything else in this picture. So now we meet a few characters with no depth or conviction or anything that would reflect an actual human being as they're placed poolside in what I guess is some sort of LA high-rise. Since it's full of simply hot bodies, the dialogue is pretty much kept to an all-time minimum, meaning each line is simply there to progress the scene and tell us what the next scene is going to be, without any actual character development or motivation. The problem with that is nothing's ever explained. We don't know who these people are, what they've done, if anything, what they're doing, why, or why should we care. So without knowing any of that information, aliens come down somewhere and start blowing shit up, I think. Can't actually tell what they're doing. So the guy with the weeds on his face somehow becomes strong. But it never seems to matter because, spoiler, he dies. So does everyone else. The aliens basically look like computer-generated images, which we've all seen before, over and over. No concept art required here, I guess, folks. Just put the program on autopilot and let it come up with a creature design. Who gives a fuck? It was so bad that it made the Brothers Douche previous movie, Alien vs. Predator Requiem have you, look like Jaws for the Revenge. Basically nothing is ever explained, and no one is ever an intriguing or interesting enough character for anyone to give a shit whether they live or die. I just wanted to turn it off and continue watching my DVD box set of The Wire for the 80th goddamn time. In the end, I can't allow myself to call a movie worse than The Never-Ending Story 2, but it definitely hurts my gonads not to give this one the throne. It's so close. Nonetheless, I have a feeling this is going to be a long case, one that may never be solved. This is just the first piece of the puzzle.